I think Close Up is certainly top 5 films of all time. When I saw that film, it made me think about using movies to manipulate life in its own way, and the power of movies. The movie is about a young man, Sabzian, who had his aspiration to be a filmmaker, and he was reading something on a bus, and the woman next to him was like, and then he just, for some reason, just pretended to be Makhmalbaf.
To gain access to their lives.
Yeah, but
not in an aggressive, like,
he ended up
stealing
getting
way,
in trouble for extorting them. But I believe that the extortion was different. It wasn't just a monetary extortion. It was wanting to feel big, wanting to feel large,
he wanted to be connected.
Be an intellectual. And the movie's about performance.
Yeah. But you don't necessarily know what to believe.
But Sabzian is an amazing actor. The main guy, the way he's recreating these things.
Well, just
he's born for film. He was born for film, so he had every right to pretend to be Makhmalbaf.
Just that idea to put him in that role is like top 5 right there, just to do that.
Yeah. The Iranians were obsessed with this concept of portraying life and removing all the veils and trying to get at, and what are we doing here?
And just realism, like what that movie...
It's reality versus realism.
Yes, like you're trying to understand what is real by reconstructing things in the most...
Deconstructing.
And reconstructing... And then deconstructing, because you're using the real people to recreate, and then by recreating, you're understanding everything that happened in the first place, and then it's a movie, and so you really have no idea what to believe.
And the ending of that film, the genius idea of Kiarostami to have Makhmalbaf pick him up from the police station, and you don't know if that was a recreated moment or if it was a real moment.
He's so emotional in that moment.
That motorcycle ride is an evergreen of inspiration. You don't know exactly what you're feeling. You're feeling an overwhelming sense of forgiveness. You're feeling an overwhelming sense of pride for this character that he's now hugging, the man he was once trying to pretend to be. It's a psychodrama, and it's saying film is bigger than us.
Watching Close Up by Kiarostami. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Yeah. That, for me, refocused my whole way of thinking, watching this film Close Up. You must see this thing. It's on DVD, Kiarostami, Iranian film. That hit me as strongly as watching for the first time. I can't say for the first time because I was 5 years old when I saw neorealist films for the first time, but has that emotional impact, I feel. And so I find myself not watching modern films as much as possible, again, older stuff. And if I'm looking at more modern films, they're usually independent, or they're usually Southeast Asian or Iranian or that sort of thing.
I'm thinking of Close Up. I've been thinking of Close Up since I've seen it after that festival, which, by the way, we had a great time at. Became very good friends. I'm thinking of Sabzian. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah. In Close Up, when he's speaking before the court about why he pretended to be Moshe Makhmalbaf. Quote, "They gave me their attention." He's talking about the family now that he deceived. "They gave me their attention and respect," he says of the family. Quote, "because of my passion for cinema, and above all because they respected me and supported me morally, I really got into the part. It encouraged me to play the role better, to where I even felt I was a director. I really was. But when I'd leave and I'd head back home, I'd have to shed the character," unquote. What he couldn't do in his everyday life, the life of a poor guy who couldn't even afford to buy his kids some treats. He could do that in the role of Makhmalbaf. And that is interact one-on-one with the members of the family without being judged or condescended to or ignored altogether. Through the experience of cinema, creating cinema, even without filming the camera, he exists and he matters. Why did he have to play the role of a director? Well, he could have been a businessman, but it's not about money. It's not about money. It's about mutual respect. It's about humanity. So I'm so moved by this. I was so moved by that film. That was a complete change in terms of seeing the world again. I know I'm repeating myself, but it really is an extraordinary film. The spirit of the artistry, which makes me see people in the world in a new, refreshing, and hopeful way. Okay, there are camera movements, there's editing, there's non-editing, angles, style, spectacle. And I guess to a certain extent that's all true. You take that into consideration. But all these things add to a certain love of cinema, right? But technique and technical sophistication affects us only to the extent that they help work to create simple, direct contact between the filmmaker and the audience.